Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell in the upper right hand corner. Follow me on all forms of social media. Check me out at thatdrummerguy.com and enjoy the following presentation.
I'm very sorry about that. My phone called and it seems like the calls just go through the Skype message or a Skype call, so...
Oh, okay. Oh, that's quite alright. Well, once again, thank you very much for taking the time to do this interview, being a longtime fan of the band, and being gracious enough to be able to receive the new album from Graveyard. It's awesome to be able to talk about everything that there is to know about Peace.
All right, yeah, that's cool. It's good to have a new record out.
Yeah, and I'm glad to see that from the fan perspective, too. I mean, having the chance to be able to check this out over the weekend and really starting to divulge into what this album's about, I really love how fresh and inspired the album feels, and it's great to see you guys back.
All right, thank you. Yeah, it feels good to be back, actually, yeah. It's, since we had a little, the rough fall back then, but now we're all good and ready to be on the stage playing some new songs again, so that's a good feeling.
So with that, how did you guys come together to get back together as a band and to start writing Peace?
No, we just we did what we could to solve the issues, and then I think it was Truls, the bass player, that all of a sudden he remembered, like, yeah, Oscar, I have a friend Oscar, he's really good at drums, let's talk to him. And we since we parted ways with Axel, we tried him, and it works just perfect. So it's good. It's a good new energy in the group dynamic, and yeah, it feels good.
So with that, I mean, how was that immediately when you were doing the songwriting process that Oscar came in, or did that come later, or how did that come about?
Oscar came in right before the real songwriting process started, I guess, because of course we all write stuff at home, so we all knew that we had some material, but we didn't really know what to do with it at the time. But then when Oscar came in, we just of course this is let's do it.
So with that, I mean, obviously with having the new dynamic with the new drums and percussion, how did that inspire you guys when it came to the rest of the band, when it came to writing songs?
I think it's been influencing us in a great way, in making the music especially, and rehearsing before the recording and doing those few shows before we actually did the record together with Oscar was a good way of building some kind of friendship and dynamics within the group up. So everything went pretty smooth, actually, and he's he's a good guy to deal with, so no issues or no.
Oh yeah.
Everything has been very, very smooth, and yeah.
And that makes me really happy to hear that too, because it's just like sometimes that can destroy the greatest bands when band members aren't getting along and not trying to find any resolution. And I'm glad to see with this current lineup that everything's going is as smooth as possible, and it's really making for some great quality music from you guys. I mean, again, it's just like the more I listen to it, the more I can just hear how fresh and inspired it feels. But it's also great to hear that the band is also feeling that way too from all sides.
All right, yeah. It's fun playing music, and I think we all felt that recording this record as well, that this is what it's all about, kind of, and what's important with music, really. So yeah.
So when it came into your contributions to the album, what did you set out to do with this album?
What I did, or what songs, or...
I mean, did you have any songs originally to begin with? Did you just write it all when you were all writing together? I mean, how did that all kind of be on your end?
No, we actually, I mean, I think, because one of the songs I made on the album is we've had since the last record, Innocence and Decadence, actually, but we never kind of finished it off in time to record it. So so that one was already halfway made, kind of, and Truls had a lot of songs, and Joachim had a lot of song ideas, and so it's we all write separately, but also trying to work things out together and jam on the things so that we get a feeling together about what's going on, or if it's fun enough to keep on working on.
And with that, I mean, how hard of a decision was it to decide like how many songs were going to be making it on the album, and what songs were actually going to be on the album?
Sorry, I didn't hear you all the way there. Was it cutting out a little?
Oh, sorry. No, I was asking how hard it was to be able to decide what songs were going to make it on the album from all the songs that you had together.
Oh yeah, that's always a tricky situation, and it's also, when it's so hard to go half blind, kind of, which, the songs you've been putting more time into, and you have a feeling about every song individually, and it's also very hard to be or take all that into consideration. I think whenever you're done with a record, and you just kind of, what you really want is just a week, a break from it, not taking any decisions about anything, but it's always a rush in the last phase. So we just had to talk it through, and also I think we all listened a lot to our manager and the producer and Chips, and also Stefan, but mostly Chips and our manager. We wanted to hear what they say, because their ears were, newer than ours, at least. So yeah, it was just about communication, I guess. So, and it was pretty smooth as well. Some songs were harder to exclude, and with the decision of choosing those songs were harder, or it was kind of obvious that song for me wasn't good enough or so. But it's all different for everyone, so you just have to do it democratically.
Yeah. So with that said, is that also how Please Don't decided to become the first single off the album?
I think, yeah. I mean, yeah. I think they called around and asked us which one do we pick, and then we also, I think we asked the record label, since it's good to have more inputs, and they liked Please Don't a lot, so we and of course we did as well, so that's the one it turned out to be.
And I think it's a great representation of what the album is, without giving everything away, because there is so much more to offer with Peace. But I think it's a great taste, having Please Don't being shown off first, and that'll get people very excited to be able to check out the rest of the album.
All right, that's good to hear. Thanks.
Oh, not a problem. So getting back into the recording aspect of it, with you getting to record your parts for the album, what kind of setup did you use for it?
I used a big. I never used that many amps, I think, during a recording, or definitely not. But I used very many, and because it was in the studio, we were recording in Park Studios. There was this guy that collected both guitars and amps. So one day we had delivery of, I think, 11 or 12 amps, combo amps made in between 55 and 65, I think, and yeah, pretty much all of them went down on a track or a solo track on the album. We just switched around, and pretty much every one of them just sounded amazing, to be honest. So it was a good experience for me, and we had a lot of fun in there. But mostly I think I used, because I always used, or I think 95% of the time I used my Gibson SG Special. I think it's a 1970 years model, and with P90s, and I kind of, yeah, that's my favorite microphones, definitely. And in the like the mix with those microphones and these old amps, it came out pretty pretty great. I feel like the sound was very enjoyable. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. But I used what was it? It was a Vox AC30, and also Fender Blues. What is it called? I forgot the name of it already. It was a small blackface Fender 10-inch speaker. It was amazing anyhow.
Yeah, and it's great to see that kind of inspiration going around. I mean, when you are able to do something than your normal setup and try these different mics out or these different amps out, and find some new inspiration that can come from that.
Oh yeah, definitely. I used a Gibson amp, Maestro amp, which had I think they have an oil reverb or something, and it kind of blew me away, to be honest. It was it was a nice amp as well.
Yeah, and again, it's just like finding the right equipment, the right kind of setup that you're doing. Like, it can inspire some amazing work, and I can't say it enough with this album. I mean, it's just, I really love how inspired everyone sounds on this album, and it's great that it can come just from like a new setup. Just like having that right combination, and just like making for the best takes possible.
I agree. It can change the whole vibe or your whole mood. So it's amazing what it can do for you.
And with that, now with the album coming out in just a little under a month now from Nuclear Blast, how does it feel to finally have this album coming out?
It feels good. I mean, and the best part is to play the new songs live as well, and not just go around on the old songs. Of course, we're playing those too, but it's always refreshing and a little inspiring when you got to think about what you're doing and not just space out and do what you've done so many times. So yeah,
I was gonna mention that too. I mean, as diverse as the previous catalog of Graveyard is, I mean, it's got to be a great feeling to be able to incorporate some new sounds and be able to switch some things up.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it is, and it's. I think it's great for everybody. I mean, it's a little harder with a new song sometimes because people hasn't heard them, as many times. But it's refreshing, definitely, and more fun doing it live.
Oh yeah, and even if someone's being able to check you out for the first time since you got back together, or just checking out the new album for the first time, checking out the band for the first time, I mean, I just imagine with how inspired everyone feels in the band right now, it's just going to make for some of the best live shows that you guys have done to date.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, yeah, definitely.
So, with that now, I mean, have you guys, decided or are working on yet on which songs from the new album are going to be played live?
I think we haven't really decided fully on that yet, but there's going to be a bunch of them, almost, maybe not all of them, but a good number of them, and for sure, Please Don't and the Fox, and we actually did a show Fridays, or this last Friday, and we played Please Don't, the Fox, and we played Bird of Paradise and Walk On from the new album to try them out live the first time. So.
And what was that like?
It was good. It was really good, but you have to kind of feel like, okay, I gotta get my focus back now, It's a little, every time it's the first time for a song, you kind of get a little more tensed, but I guess that's both good and bad, until you fully get into it. It felt good and the crowd liked it, so I guess it was pretty good. Good night.
I'm glad to hear that too. I mean, like, there's a lot of songs off the album, like, I'd be very excited to be able to hear how they sound in a live setting, and I'm glad to see that already before the album's coming out, that some of the songs are getting that live promotion already.
Yeah. I mean, we'll try to do, what we can to make people, because I know there's, people sometimes just want to have the old songs that they've heard a lot of times, and I fully understand that, but it's also, that's kind of you never know what the expectations or how they will receive the new stuff, but it's that part is also fun and kind of exciting.
Yeah, and it sounds like you guys are going to be going about it the right way too, where you are showing off a good portion of the album, but you're still also going back and playing songs from the past that people want to hear, and the songs that you want to play from the past as well.
Yeah, it's a good mix.
Yeah, and that's definitely the way it should be. I mean, it could be a little jarring, like, if you do the whole album from start to finish when it's brand new, or if you completely ignore the new album to begin with. So, going about it the way that you guys are, I mean, I definitely think it's a good way.
All right, yeah.
So, with that, I mean, obviously with a new album coming out next month and preparing for live shows, what else is going to be going on for 2018?
There's as you say, there's a bunch of live shows and festivals that we're doing, and then we're going to tour Europe in the fall, and Great Britain, and we have a busy year playing live, and I think that will continue for a while next year as well, to be honest, and hopefully we'll just go into the studio and make another record after a few more tours in 2019.
Yeah, and I'll definitely be looking forward to that as well. And it's great to see that you guys are doing a great focus on the live aspect as well. Just like even though the band is very inspired right now, just like making sure that you get the songs down as tight as you possibly can, and being able to promote yourselves coming back and the new album as much as you can in the live setting.
It's live is. I think that's an important part, and also of course, a fun part to do and play for. Play live concerts and all. But I mean, it's good to be around at festivals and other places and regular shows, and just hear people playing, and do it the right way, not just having tracks and all that stuff. So you gotta do it live, I guess.
Absolutely, and again, that makes me very happy to hear that too. I mean, like with you guys going on and doing the live shows, making sure that everyone is playing live rather than focusing on backing tracks or having parts that aren't actually being played live, making sure that the band is actually playing live, and that will make for such a great live show.
All right, thanks. Yeah, it's. I think. I couldn't see myself or anybody else in the band doing it another way, really. So, because I think we that's what we really enjoy, with playing music. That it's actually alive, and it can happen things, and things can be different, but that's mostly a good thing. So yeah.
And speaking of that, of course, with the new album, you were able to experiment more with different amps and microphones and everything that comes with that. Are you changing anything at all when it comes to your personal setup when it comes to the live setting?
No, I don't think I will do. I still have my Marshall Blues breakers that I run. Hello?
Oh, hi. Yeah, I lost you there for a couple
sorry,
seconds.
man, it's people calling and it just pauses our phone call on automatic, so sorry about that.
Oh, that's better. Yeah, I think I lost you just a couple seconds into that last part.
Yeah, and I don't have a clue what I was saying. Sorry about that.
Oh, it was about your live rig that you're using.
Oh, yeah, the Blues Breakers. Yeah, I got to... Oh, sorry about that. My boys are here and my wife is at work, so sorry, it's a little chaotic.
No problem.
But, yeah, 2 Blues Breaker combos I usually use live, and my Gibson SGs. I actually have just got a pretty much another version of my SG special that I traded my Les Paul for it actually, so I have a few SGs now to bring, so it feels safe.
Oh, that's awesome. And that sounds like such a great combination live. I mean, having the Blues Breakers with Gibson SG and, of course, with the entire band surrounding you as well. I just imagine that the guitars are just going to sing through so well, and it's just going to make for a great live show being able to hear that combination.
Oh, yeah, it feels good.
Oh, awesome. Well, I think that's actually a great note to end on. Once again, thank you so very much for taking the time to talk to me about everything that's going on with Graveyard right now. And, of course, the brand new album, Peace, which is coming out 25th of May through Nuclear Blast. I love the album. I love it from start to finish. I love what you guys have been able to accomplish since getting back together, changing up the lineup to make sure that it's what you guys want to be able to pull off. And I'm very excited to see what you guys are going to be doing in the future as well, as far as like the live shows and upcoming recordings when that comes down the road. And I'm glad to see where you guys are at right now. As a fan, I'm happy to see that you guys are happy and enjoying what you're doing.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, it's good to be back, and it feels pretty great. And yeah, thank you for having me in this interview.
Oh, not a problem. Before we wrap things up, is there anything else you'd like to mention that I hadn't brought up yet?
No, I think I'm pretty. I don't know. I think I just hope to see you around and do a live show soon.
Oh, that'd be fantastic. I mean, I'm not sure if anything is being lined up for North America down the road, but if you guys come back, I would love to be able to see you guys.
Yeah, we will be back for sure, but nothing that's completely set yet.
Oh, sure. Yeah,
very soon.
I imagine that Europe and the UK and everything is like first and foremost being able to get that promoted off, and then everywhere else would come in time, hopefully.
Yeah. Well, we'll be there for sure, because we like touring there quite a bit, so we'll be back.